Very good evening and welcome to the Workbench. And tonight on the Workbench we have something that I've had since I was 16. This is a very old Pioneer stereo tuner, and I do actually have the rest of the kit somewhere. I believe it's still in the attic, but a couple of days ago my main stereo in the dining room where I have the computer decided it was going to go intermittent on one channel, and I needed a tuner fast. So I grabbed this one out of the attic and found that it's not working like it should. So let's just have a quick brief look at it. I have tested it and it's doing some strangeness. It is working on FM, no problem. I'm just going to plug it in. It's powered up where I had it. Now, the power switch isn't latching very well at all, but when it does latch in, it comes up and it goes to a stable frequency. So that side of things, as I say, is working. When I go to AM, it doesn't tune at all. So without knowing what's going on there, we'll have a look, and that's on long wave. Let's put it back to medium wave. So the band on AM isn't working, and the tuning is just not doing anything. But on FM, it tunes fine, and in fact it does even pick up a signal. Now when I connect it, if I go to 104.4, that's actually a local radio station that has their relay transmitter a mile and a half away. So on FM, even without an antenna, you will pick something up in here. But I'm not getting the stereo light, so it looks like the LED for the stereo light's gone as well. And I think it just needs a strip down and a put back together. So if you want to stay around, fine. I'm going to take the lid off it and going to have a look inside and see just how it's coped with, well, at least spending the last, how long? I'm just trying to think. It's got to be 30 years in the attic. Let's power it off, pull the mains, get the screwdriver and take it apart. Right, so we have a tuning cord going to the tuning capacitor. That's fine. Now, none of these capacitors seem to have left themselves all over the board. There doesn't seem to be any major sort of issues with it, really. I think what we're looking at is this switchboard being a little bit sticky, so it could probably do with some contact lube. And maybe even, see, that's the other switchboard for the band switching, so it could be that as well. It could just be a switching issue. That's what I'm hoping. Right, okay, I think the thing to do is take off the front panel and get these boards up a little bit. The wiring doesn't look particularly crap, so let's take it apart and see what we've got in it. I think what I'm going to do on there, and this is the one that's not latching. Contact cleaner, similar to Deoxit, but without the brand name. I'm going to see if these switches actually do come apart. Got the latch there. I wonder if I can spray in the hole. All I'm doing here is I'm running cleaner down the channel. To try and get whatever build-up of crap is in there to shift. I wonder if I can get in from here. Right, okay, so the switches are out now. I've got the power switch and the band selector switch out, and I've just sprayed them full of lube really, and as you can see, at the moment we're on FM, and if I flick the switch, now we go to medium wave, and now we go to long wave. So the switching problem was here, and it was just a case of lubrication, and what I also did was I ran up some fresh solder on all the pins of the switch just to make sure that there were no cold joints, and so now I've got AM and FM. I suppose I could change that LED, that wouldn't be a hardship just for the sake of doing it, and then I can put it back together. There we go. So let's just take the LED board out. Let's try the first one. I'm wondering if it's an LED at all. It's not an LED. It's a bulb. It's a filament bulb. That's interesting. And I've dropped it on the floor. No, I haven't. I've dropped it on the hard drive. But it's open. Right, so I've made an executive decision, and I'm not going to replace that lamp. I've just looked at the prices of them on eBay, and they work out about £1 each. Well, I'm not that worried about knowing whether the thing's playing in stereo or mono, because I can hear whether it's in stereo or mono, and there's enough metering on the amplifier to tell me what it's doing, so that's really not an issue. Right, so at the moment we have nothing because we're not tuned into a station. There we go.
right now, and I know that all the grocery stores are trying to do the same with bottled water, but nobody ever wishes that they prepared less for a hurricane. You know, it's better to be safe than sorry, so that's why people are really getting their...
So here we are, BBC Local Radio for Northamptonshire is
this storm may bring, but on the coast,
interviewing an American fella for about the hurricane that's going on.
Plywood in front of, on their windows, they're boarding up, leaving town so they can...
Now let's see if we can pick up anything else. And of course, bearing in mind, we've got no antenna on here at all.
Oh, yeah, that's the hope.
Let's see if we can find any of the other...
£30,000. And if you're like me, you can hear competitions like this and just go, oh, it'd never be me. I would never win that.
So that's the BBC Radio 1, which is the youth station.
Just consider for a moment.
I believe 96, or it could be Heart, which is another commercial. 93, that's the...
To keep listening. Our feel-good artist currently is Lady Gaga. When she plays once, £300 could be yours. When she plays twice in a row, you could win £3,000. And when Lady Gaga plays 3 times in a row, you know the deal. You could win a life-changing £30,000. Keep it in your head. Lady Gaga, when she plays, we pay. Good luck on this. Go for it. Heart's 30k triple play.
Right, so it's Heart Radio.
For one tonight from North Carolina.
Well, yes, we're delighted to be doing that. Tell me what your latest observations are of the Hurricane Florence.
Well, the latest that we have has winds up to 140 miles per hour, and they gust even higher than that. And just, you look at the satellite rod, and it looks like something out of a meteorology textbook. It's round, it's symmetrical, it's got a very visible eye, and that tells...
Right. So let's just shut the amp off there. I should really have brought the remote control for it, and then I could have turned it off without getting off my seat. So... as you see, we're all working, we're making noise, and that's without, as I say, any antenna at all on this tuner, so it is pretty sensitive. Listening to that, I wish anybody who's watching and is caught up in that hurricane, just be safe, and yeah. There's not a lot else I can say, and you're probably not watching YouTube if you're getting ready to run from a hurricane. So take care, and I'll put this back together, and it can go on top of the amplifier, and I can use it as my FM radio instead of having to use my internet bandwidth. 6 of one, half a dozen the other, isn't it? Thanks very much for watching, and we'll speak to you all again. Bye for now.